They thought Nova had turned on their daughter. They had it exactly backwards. It started on a Saturday in March with a casserole. Diane Jose had been cooking. A new recipe, a neighbor's dish she had been meaning to try, with cashews worked into the sauce. It smelled wonderful. She set it on the counter and turned around, and Nova was between her and Zara. Not growling, not lunging, just positioned. 100 pounds of Siberian Husky placed between the kitchen counter and Diane's 3-year-old daughter with a deliberateness that stopped Diane mid-step. Zara reached around the dog toward her mother. Nova moved with her, staying in front, keeping the positioning. Diane said Nova's name sharply. Nova looked at her, did not move. Diane's mother, who was visiting from Atlanta, watched from the kitchen doorway and said nothing. She had grown up with working dogs. She recognized something in the dog's posture that she could not name out loud in that moment. She said it later. She said, "That dog was not being aggressive. That dog was trying to block something." Diane did not have that framework yet. She had 4 years with Nova, and she had never seen this behavior. She called her husband Kwame from the living room. He came in, assessed, and said the thing that sounded most reasonable. "She's resource guarding the kitchen. She doesn't want Zara near the food prep area." They called their trainer that evening. The trainer agreed. Territorial food behavior was common and manageable. She scheduled an appointment for Tuesday. On Sunday evening, Diane made pasta. No nuts. Simple ingredients. Nova was calm the entire time. On Monday, she used a new cooking oil, macadamia nut oil, which she had bought because the label said heart healthy, and she had not read further. Nova was in the kitchen before the oil hit the pan. She moved in front of Zara and stayed there body sideways for the entire preparation. Diane put Nova in the bedroom. Nova scratched at the door for 40 minutes. The trainer came Tuesday and watched Diane prep dinner. Chicken, vegetables, almond butter sauce for the adults. Nova was in the room. The moment the almond butter jar opened, Nova moved directly in front of Zara and stood. The trainer stopped writing mid-note. She said, "This is not resource guarding. She knows something about this child. And food. You need to talk to an allergist before you talk to me again." If you stay for stories about what animals sense before we do, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Dr. Lena Thorvaldsen, pediatric allergist at Metro Children's Allergy Center, saw Zara the following week. She conducted a comprehensive panel. The results took 48 hours. Zara had a severe tree nut allergy. Cashews, macadamia nuts, almonds, and pistachios at a level that placed her in the highest anaphylaxis risk category. She had never knowingly consumed any of these foods. The allergy had developed silently, the way severe nut allergies sometimes do in young children, without an event, without a prior exposure that produced visible symptoms. It was waiting. The casserole on Saturday had cashews worked into the sauce. The cooking oil on Monday was macadamia. The almond butter on Tuesday was a direct airborne trigger. Zara had been 3 inches from each of these things, reaching for her mother when Nova stepped in front of her. Dr. Thorvaldsen reviewed the timeline. She sat across from Diane and said, "Your daughter has never had a confirmed exposure at these quantities. A first anaphylactic event in a child with her sensitization profile could have produced a severe systemic reaction. If she had consumed any of the meals prepared on Saturday or Monday, you would have needed epinephrine within minutes." She paused. She said, "Something kept her away from those foods 3 separate times. Whatever it was functioning as an allergy alert. Has your dog ever done something you could not explain until it was the only thing that made sense? Tell us in the comments. These stories deserve to be heard. The explanation from the veterinary researcher who reviewed the case, Dr. Amara Diallo, Canine Olfactory Science, Tufts University School of Veterinary Medicine, was precise. Tree nut proteins have distinctive volatile organic compound signatures. These signatures, present in cooking vapors, on surfaces, and in ambient air during food preparation, are detectable by dogs at concentrations below any human sensory threshold. A dog with a strong scent bond to a family member learns to associate these compounds with the human's stress response. Elevated cortisol, adrenaline, the chemical shift that precedes an allergic reaction through repeated proximity. Over time, the dog learns to identify the trigger before the response. What Nova was doing was not aggression. It was the same function as a trained medical alert dog, developed not through training, but through 4 years of living beside a child whose chemistry she knew better than anyone. She had been learning Zara's body the entire time. On Saturday in March, she used that knowledge. Every guardian deserves to be seen, even the ones who never asked for anything in return. If stories like this matter to you, subscribe so you never miss the next one. Zara now carries an epinephrine auto-injector. She has dietary protocols. She wears a medical alert bracelet with her nut allergy clearly listed. Her school has a protocol. Her grandparents have protocols. Nova wears a vest that says Allergy Alert Dog, not because she was trained for the role, but because she was already doing it, and the family decided the world should know. Diane thinks about the casserole sometimes. The new recipe, the neighbor's dish. The Saturday it smelled so good she was already reaching for a bowl for Zara before Nova got between them. She thinks about what she would have done if Nova hadn't been there. She doesn't finish the thought. What did your dog do that you still cannot explain? Drop it below. Someone needs to hear it.